So we launched Kickstarter back in, I think it was November 1st, and it was good. We had a good bump for the first couple of days, and then it kind of leveled off.
At first, we got so much money in the very beginning. I was so optimistic, like, oh my God, we're gonna make thousands and thousands of dollars. This is gonna be amazing. And then it started to slow down, as like every Kickstarter does. And since that was my first time actually doing Kickstarter, or really following a Kickstarter, I wasn't expected for like how slow it would be.
We knew we were kind of going into it a little bit early, but like it was just a mad rush to just try to get everything in. So it was just, everybody was super busy working 100-hour weeks, like just anything and everything we could to do to just get this going.
I don't know, I guess it was kind of unsettling to not really know where we stood as far as people really caring about what we did and stuff. Not that we really have a grand idea now, but it's slightly more concrete.
A little nerve-wracking. It's kind of the first test to see how people outside of our group really perceive our game and whether it'll be successful. I found a website called, I think it was KickTrack, that gave like percentage success based off like other Kickstarters in the past for like every Kickstarter on the site. And it was looking pretty grim on there for a while. It kept giving us like 1-2%.
The comments have actually been like, because I've been reading the comments, like, and anyone can tell you in this room that I probably read them more than anyone. The 90% of them have been like more than that, I would say. Like I can actually remember, I think, the 3 bad comments and I think 2 of those were bad against the art. One which called our character the worst pixel he's ever, or worst sprite he's ever seen in all Greenlight. You know, our character's not a sprite.
Thing, marketable here, and it just was a matter of seeing if other people saw that as well. And so it came down to presenting ourselves well, and kind of just, I don't know, making sure we put that best foot forward. And I mean, based on the results, I'd say we did pretty all right.
There was one moment where it like just jumped. It was like, you know what, I don't think this is 2%, I think it's 98%. And that was pretty awesome, and then we got funded not too long after that.
You know, you get money from Kickstarter, but it's also like you're making a commitment with the people that backed you. Like, we will finish this, we will deliver on the things we said we would, and we're going to try to make this game as awesome as we can, because all of these people, like, not necessarily expect that from us, but we feel like we owe it to them to make the game as good as possible. Aside from owing it to ourselves and just generally making good games being a good practice to follow.
You do have that obligation to people, so it was kind of an added layer of stress, but it was kind of eclipsed by the fact that we had $10,000. So I'm going to say it was predominantly a positive emotion for getting that money and pretty much making our future possible.
So after that, we had this money, and it was like really great to just have that in the bank account, and like to know that once we graduated from FIA, we'd be able to buy all their software licenses and everything.
We bought like the professional version of Unity, which is the game engine we're using. We bought, most of it's like for artists, so we've got like Maya, the Adobe Suite, that sort of thing.
The problem that happened was FIA had kind of promised us that we would be able to stay at FIA after we graduated, just, until we finished this project and got out of there. But at the last minute, they basically told us, no, we can't. So we got kicked out of our incubator space.
Literally less than 2 weeks notice, like, hey, you guys gotta leave the building, and you're graduating in less than 2 weeks, and we're taking your badges, and you're not allowed back in the building. So get the fuck out.
And the problem was, by the time they would have given us, we would have already had to have released, so that wasn't an option anymore. Once they found out like more details about what could happen. So we had to go and find a place. So Brian, Ben, and Nick, and me, and pretty much the whole team kind of were looking at other places like Endspace. They offered us, which was really gracious of them. As well as Fiken Media, they also offered us space too. So like having 2 game developers in Orlando area like offer us space and say like they'll take us in and help us with things was really nice. But in the end, we wanted to it, but it was just too far and just wasn't in what we needed to do for ourselves. So we ended up finding this house.
The house is great. I mean, one, I live here, so commutes to work are pretty painless. Although it still probably takes me more time to get from my room to the garage than it takes most people to get from their house to the garage. But I like it. It's great. It's luxurious. I mean, I end up working like 12-hour days because I live here, and it's like, well, I'm already here. I might as well just keep working.
Also, we got like a full kitchen, so I don't need to like worry about cooking at home necessarily. Made some killer buffalo chicken the other day in the crock pot. Pretty tasty.
But it's really nice. It's nice because this is like a pure workspace, and there's less distractions than there were at FIA. Because at FIA we had all our friends there. The new cohort students had come in, and they were really curious about what we were doing. But here it's we have our own little bubble, but we're still part of the Orlando dev community, so we still, are able to communicate with them and talk to them and see what's going on. And but this is nice.